Hello. I've decided to come over all domestic, probably because I got married. Yay, the weekend. That's why the kitchen's a mess, honest. And we moved house. Anyway, right. Decided to play Nigella Lawson and do a cooking vlog. Basically, just because we were having some conversations at the wedding this weekend about cooking on a budget and things like that. So I thought I would have. Luckily now I have a reasonable shopping budget. It's still a budget, but in the past, when it was just me and the kids, I had some diabolical shopping budgets and learned to cook quite quickly because I had to. Fairly decent meals on very, very low budget. So I thought I'd do vlog posts and show people how to do some of the recipes. So I'm going to start today with spaghetti bolognese. Apart from it's not spaghetti because it's twirly, usually bolognese. And this costs 70 to 75 pence per person. You need to make it up for at least 4 people, but obviously if you're just a couple by yourself, all you do is just cook the amount of pasta you need, and with a spare sauce, freeze it in individual portions, then you can pull it out and reheat it to use later. So it still works out. Now, the shopping for this extraordinary creation. Start off, you need minced beef to go in it. Minced beef and onion. Sorry, this isn't a vegetarian one. If you are vegetarian, it costs even less. You just miss out the minced beef and onion. Minced beef and onion costs about 85 pence per tin. A lot of people don't bother buying tinned meat anymore. If you can afford to buy nice organic fresh meat, then do it. If you're on a budget, you can. So you buy this. Actually, the reason all of these are Morrison's Savour range. The reason I get the Morrison's Savour range is it's really cheap. And they actually, considering it's a Savour range, the additives and ingredients in it aren't bad at all. For this tin, by the time you get water, minced beef and the onion stuff in it, that makes up sort of the large chunk of what's in there. The rest of it, you're not looking through the ingredients list thinking, what on earth is that? It's all sort of recognisable stuff, so it's not too bad as far as budget ranges go. I think Morrison's is actually one of the best ones, but that's my opinion. The one thing you do have to watch out for in tinned meats is the salt level. Because of the salt level in this, I won't be adding any more salt throughout the rest of the cooking process. This tin has about 12 grams of salt in it, which is quite a lot. So, 12 grams, you only meant to eat 6. Now, obviously, this is going to be cooked in and distributed in multiple servings, so it's not really horrific. But I wouldn't add any more salt to the meal, especially if salt levels are something that you personally have to be aware of. So yeah, start off with minced beef and onions, Morrison's Savour, minced beef and onions, about 85 pence a can. Still on Morrison's Savours, plum tomatoes or chopped tomatoes, tinned tomatoes of some description, about 33 pence a can. Morrison's Savour pasta twist, 29 pence per bag. Cheap pasta tends to be fine. Cheap rice dries in the same because you have to wash the heck out of it. Cheap pasta is fine as long as you remember to put a little bit of oil in the pan that you're cooking it in, and then it doesn't stick together. In addition to that, I've got about a pound in money's worth of vegetables. I've got celery, green pepper, some small carrots and a small onion. You could actually make this recipe even cheaper if you've got frozen sort of mixed vegetables. You can use them, that's fine. If you grow your own vegetables, even better quality vegetables and even cheaper. So there's that as well. The other thing I've got is Worcestershire sauce, because it's one of those things that isn't sort of an essential on the shopping list, but it's worth having because it just makes like really cheap stuff taste so much better. Black pepper, again, makes stuff taste so much better. And we have fresh herbs in the garden, which I would recommend anyone shopping on a budget at some point invest in some little herb plants, or wait for Christmas or a birthday, and if someone asks you what you want for a present, you don't know what to get. Little window box with herb plants, because again, they make very basic food taste a lot better than it does. So those are your ingredients, and like I said, this whole lot together costs about £2.80 to £3, so about 70 to 75 pence per person. Okay, I'm actually some cooked this. Actually, this ball is really cheap meal. It's also really, really quick and quite easy, so you know. Remember I said oil in the pasta. You only need about a teaspoon, but especially with cheap pasta, it just starts to stick together. So. As you can see, I'm a natural in the kitchen. So. You probably don't need that much pasta for 4 people, but I always tend to cook pasta by the ton because any that doesn't get used in it. Normally go in the fridge and then tomorrow I do like tomato pasta, take it to work with it. So you might as well. Okay, so the pastas, and now I haven't switched it on yet because I'm boiling the kettle to put boiling water into it to start. Because just use that and wait for the water, quicker than wait for all the water to boil up. Into the other pan, quite. Use a saucepan. I use like a deep-sided frying pan for pretty much anything. It's like my favourite pan. It does everything. Run up so fairly high. And first thing to go in there is the minced beef and onions. This is where everyone gets to laugh at my inability to work tin opener. This is why I'm doing it off camera. Like I said, not a natural in the kitchen. Okay. So, minced beef and onions. First thing in. This actually, I don't know why I'm telling you to do this in order, because it is literally a case of just throw everything into the pan. It's that simple. Some tomatoes. If you use them plum tomatoes like me rather than chopped ones, kind of like mash them to death with the end of your wooden spoon, and it just breaks them up a bit. So. All of those little veggies that I showed you chopped, they'll go straight in. Some people like to fry the vegetables down first. You can do if you like, to be honest. Cook. Put them in the pan and cook it. The herbs are sent by a small child minion up will be sort of very roughly chopped. In. And into that, I know I said I'm not adding any more salt, but I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper. Quite a lot of black pepper, I'll do that. And a little bit of salt. Then you just sort of mash it all together. Mashing of the tomatoes. If you have, people shopping on a budget mightn't have this, but if you do have any like leftover half bottles of red wine or anything kicking about, or the odd glass that's been left out, you can't drink it anymore, chuck that straight in, because that works brilliantly as well. Just kettle boil. That's good time, wasn't it? And go straight into cover my pasta. And that's pretty much it. You want to sort of keep an eye on it, generally, especially the sauce. Just keep sort of mashing it, randomly mashing it with a spoon as it cooks through. And yeah, that's pretty much it done. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes-ish since I switched the camera on. Pasta obviously cooked in that time. It doesn't take pasta that long to cook. You may have seen on Cook With Programme, so it's go, oh, you have to rinse the pasta in cold water because it'll keep cooking if you leave it in the hot water. Yeah, so just like turn the ring off while the other stuff's still cooking before it's finished cooking. Just leave it in there on a hot ring and it'll cook through really slowly. So it's a good tip. And it saves you electric as well if you've got an electric cooker. Yeah, so pasta's cooked, drained, and the sauce has cooked down. Vegetables still slightly crunchy because I cooked them quite big and I still like my vegetables to be a little bit crunchy in sauces. If you don't like them crunchy, cut them smaller. If you've got really fussy kids who won't eat vegetables, grate them. By the time it's cooked in, they won't even be able to see them, so they'll eat them anyway. Yeah, and that is pretty much it. If you don't mind putting your cost up a little bit to about 80 to 85 pence, you can grate cheese and put grated cheese on the top, which is nice. I like grated cheese. A good tip about cheese, because it's not massively expensive, but it is actually one of the more expensive things on a shopping budget. One thing you can do is if you buy Edam cheese, it is one of the cheapest, and it's also one of the lowest in fat. It's one of the healthier cheeses, and if you grate it 50-50 with cheddar, it doesn't really taste that much different, especially if you're using a mature cheddar. So you can save money and it makes it a little bit healthier. So that's a good tip to look for. So yeah, and then it is literally a case of getting bowl, pasta in it, chucking the sauce on the top, little bit of cheese, little bit of black pepper if you want to be really proud about it. You can chop some herbs on there if you want. Yeah, that is it, basically. Woo, woo. Get it? Whee. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, that is 70 pence spaghetti bolognese. Oh, fusilli bolognese. Or whatever other pasta shape you want to have. There you go. That was my first cooking vlog. Might come and do some more. Quite good fun. I can pretend to be Nigella Lawson. You know, minus all the cocaine and shit. Bye!